What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Elden Ring walkthrough. What are we now? Part 17. We have made some significant progress in this game, and I just want to say thank you to you guys who have trusted me with your playthrough to guide you along. Really appreciate you guys. We're going to start this one off by going back to Roundtable Hold real quick because, well, for one, we've got a lot of ground to cover in this episode. For two, we're going to be hitting up this cave, which is our first crystal tunnel, which features a lot of crystal enemies, including the boss, who is a crystal enemy. So going back to Roundtable Hold, I'm going to level up a weapon that we're going to use in there because those crystal enemies are weak to blunt damage. And so we're going to be using a blunt weapon in there, and that's going to help us out enormously. So situationally, I am going to switch to other weapons when it is advantageous. So in this case, we will be doing that. Let's see, rune-wise, we should be fine to do some upgrades here.
Well, I took you for no man to lay out your arm.
So what we're going to be using is a weapon that we picked up in Stormville Castle, the Brick Hammer. So I'm going to upgrade this as much as possible. Let's see how far we can take it here. Get it to plus... Got it to +5. That's plenty. We should be able to use it. One thing I'll point out is... I'm going to sort back here. Is it does require a bit more strength than we have, but that doesn't mean that we can't use it, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So once the game loads up, I'm going to throw it on real quick, and I'm going to show you guys something. So I'm going to throw on the Brick Hammer. You see we're still medium load with it. It is a little bit heavier. Still medium load. So it says unable to use this item effectively with present attributes unless, see that final line, unless wielded with both hands. That's because if you wield a weapon with both hands, it gives you a 1.5x bonus to your strength attribute. No, this trick works with no other attribute except for strength. It doesn't work with dex, intelligence, faith, anything. The only thing that you get this 1.5 bonus with for dual wield for two-handing a weapon is with your strength. So you see in my build, I've got 24 strength. And so if I were to take 24 times 1.5, and I know we're doing a little bit of math here, guys, but that means that I can wield any weapon that requires up to 36 strength. So you see this hammer requires 31. So if we two-hand it, we'll be fine. So let me show you here. We got a red X when we're one-handing it. That means we don't have the attributes to wield the weapon. But if we two-hand it, look. No red X, we're good to go. So we're going to be using, as I said, we're going to be using this weapon in the crystal tunnels because, as I said, these crystal enemies and the crystal type boss is going to be weak to this type of, to the blunt damage that this weapon does. So it's definitely something that we're going to want to be using. So what we're going to be doing to start is we're basically going to be going up this coastline. There's going to be a couple things we want to pick up along the way. I'm just kind of making little markers to indicate that. So there's going to be like I think it's a smithing stone that we want kind of in this little forest. And then we're going to break right here. I think there's a site, or I keep on calling them sites of grace, or yeah, site of grace. Getting my terminology mixed up. First things first, there's something right here underneath this bridge that we're going to pick up. Strip of white flesh. Crafting materials, don't worry about those guys. They're poisonous and annoying. So just kind of go right past them. Up here, silver pickled fowl foot. For enhanced, it's not rune acquisition. I forget what those things enhance. I'll have to check it out real quick. And I can't check my map because of the game thinks I'm in the middle of an encounter right now. But yeah, a bunch of other poison dudes. Right here you get the land squirt ashes. So these guys, we get their ashes. Not really all that useful in my opinion, but they're there. So I want to pick them up. And once the game kind of lets me... There we go. I'm going to take off these. So where we're going to head next is up here. I think there's some smithing stones kind of in this wooded area. Let's see. Where me smithing stones? Around here somewhere. I think they might be guarded by these enemies, yeah. If you haven't noticed, a lot of just random pickups in the world are guarded by enemies. And those ones will poison you if you're not careful. All right, so here's our Site of Grace. I'm just going to go up here to knock out the beacon, and then going to hit up this Site of Grace here. Rest up to take away the poison buildup. And then there's a few more things we're going to pick up. I'm going to rest just to make sure that I get rid of the poison buildup. Okay, so pulling up the map. There's some smithing stones here. There's some Arterial Leaves here. And then there's another Site of Grace here. And we're going to get, so kind of make a little triangle. And if you don't have that hammer, or let's say if you don't have the stats to use that hammer, anything that does blunt damage will work. So look through your inventory and see what you got. So this one is in a little gazebo. And you definitely can beat that cave with the Bloodhound's Fang. Just know that you're not going to be doing as much damage, but it's definitely viable. Instead of 1 or 2 shotting stuff, you're going to be 3 or 4 shotting stuff, which in the grand scheme of things, not that big of a deal. So these Arterial Leaves, they're in a big circle of jellyfish. These jellyfish can be annoying, but you want the Arterial Leaves, which again can be used for crafting some pretty good stuff, including exalted flesh, or I forget what it's called. It's the stuff that gives you should be one more. There it is. It's the stuff that gives you enhanced attack power, and it's a pretty decent boost to your attack power. I think it's in the neighborhood of about 20%. I used them a lot when I was fighting some of the late game bosses in my first playthrough, and it helped me out. So being able to craft those is quite nice. And I believe we already have the cookbook to craft them. Let's check. Crafting. Yes, we can craft the exalted flesh. This is what I'm talking about. So you see those Arterial Leaves are required for them. There's a couple other things that the Arterial Leaves are required for, but that's a big one, is the exalted flesh. Okay, so we got our Site of Grace. So I think we already hit that spot up. And so where we're headed next is our cave right here. There's a mausoleum up here. It's a little bit different than some of the other ones. I'll show you why. We're just going to head straight there. And this cave that we're going to is one of the, if not the longest cave level that we've been through thus far. Or I should say it's a tunnel, not a cave. The tunnels are the ones where they're actually mining for stuff. So this candlestick will summon a ghost that'll show you the path to this cave or tunnel that we're going to anyway. So if you look at this mausoleum, well, for one, there's a bunch of headless dudes around it. You'll see that like the stuff to knock it down is not around its feet like the other ones we did. So what you have to do with this one is there's actually a spirit spring jump that's going to take you way up here. And big old jump. And eventually, if you wait for it, this thing's going to make its way all the way over here. But let me show you something. If you zoom in, you'll see that the little pustules, I guess you could call them, are up here on the top. And you need to shoot them from afar. So it's out of range for my bow right now. But eventually, he's going to make his way much closer to this kind of cliffside. And so if you want to get this one, that's how you're going to have to get him. As I said, I don't really use the boss stuff, or I'm not gonna. Not that I don't use it, but in this playthrough, I'm not really gonna be focusing on the boss weapons. So if you want the boss weapons and boss spells, then and you want to duplicate your remembrances, then you might want to be getting that mausoleum. And if you do want this mausoleum, I just wanted to show you how you get this particular one, because that one is not on the feet like the other ones that I've showed you. That one's, again, it's up top. Okay, so we have made our way to the tunnels. I'm going to take my beacon off here. And in this case, as I've shown you before, there are drop-off points on these elevators, and some of the drop-off points are actually really, really high up. So you see this one, you don't even need to take the elevator. Like, you can just drop down right here and start your way down. I believe these first ones don't even have any, like, good loot. It's just these kind of cracked crystal crafting mats. And, you know, you can just make your way down and you'll get to the ground level as if you took the elevator. I've got my lantern on for good measure. So this cave is important because we're going to get our first somber stone tier 3s in here. I'm going to bring the elevator down just cuz not that I need to ride it, but I am going to allow it to come down. So we're going to our first somber stone tier 3s in here, which will allow us to upgrade our Bloodhound Fang. Very, very nice. And we've got, as I said, we've got a lot to cover. Oh, yeah. I need to equip my hammer. We've got a lot to cover in this episode. The last one being as short as it was, I was like, okay, I need to plan out more for this episode. And we'll see. I may have planned out too much, but oh, I missed. But you'll see, we're doing crazy damage to this. The Bloodhound's Fang, we'd probably need to do 4 or 5 hits to kill this. I think it can be. It's a one-shot jump attack. So very nice. Before you open this chest, jump on top of it. And then jump up here, because there is a Somber Smithing Stone 3 right behind that statue there. Very cleverly hit. That's not the only one we're going to get in this level. This level actually has quite a few of the tier 3 Sombers. But that is the first one. So if you're using your Bloodhound's Fang and you want to just go on and warp on out and upgrade it real quick and come back, you can certainly do that. Since I'm not even using the Bloodhound's Fang in this part, I am going to continue to use my hammer, which will do a lot better. Again, the blunt damage, big deal. I would not be one-shot jump attacking these guys with the Bloodhound's Fang right now. So the blunt damage to these crystal enemies makes a huge difference. A huge difference. Bit of an AoE with that attack. Wasn't being careful enough. Okay, so guys, I hate to tell you, this part's annoying. It is annoying. There's some platforming, some very, very janky platforming. I have fallen off these ledges many, many times. For those of you playing online, you're probably going to see a decent bit of blood stains hanging around these ledges. So you have to sprint jump to make this. And when you sprint jump to make this jump to get over there, you're going to want to hold circle or the equivalent button on your controller throughout the entire jump. And since you have to be sprinting to make this jump, what I do is you have to get a running start. So what I do is I hold circle kind of against this wall, run forward, and then at the last second, turn up and jump. And then you hold circle throughout the entirety of the jump. So hold circle, jump, and you'll make it. I know it's super janky, but sadly, you know, it is what it is. You get a Somber Stone 3 for doing that. And, you know, it's tricky. Not going to lie. You need to get another Somber Stone 3. So we get 2 Somber Stone 3s for doing that. Now this jump, yeah, it's another tricky one. Kind of hold circle, run, and then just make sure you hold circle throughout the whole jump. I've fallen there a bunch, and it might take you a few times to get it. If it does take you a few times, it's not that bad, because this is close to the beginning of the level, so you're gonna start kind of right back here anyway. But just know I have died many, many times. This is a shortcut elevator we're going to get later on in the level. Just a quick peek. Look all the way down there. You can see. You can actually see the boss all the way down to the bottom right there. So we got to make our way all the way down there. And that's, as I said, this is one of the larger tunnel levels. It's definitely the largest one we've done so far. But yeah, it's going to be a while. So there's more than meets the eye here. There's a guy over here, a guy below the platform there. There's a guy over there. So if you run up and just try to kill these guys quickly, you're probably gonna get hit. And I've died multiple times to just being ganged up on in this spot. I'm actually going to take this dagger off. I don't need it right now. So just make sure you're two-handing your hammer unless you have the strength to one-hand it. I do not have the strength to one-hand it. So this guy is a caster, and he will just straight up spam his spells. Okay, some smithing stones. And the boss of this tunnel, while not required for the platinum by any stretch, is important. I'm just going to do a backstep on this guy because it gives you an item that you can take to the maiden and round table hold, and it will allow you to purchase infinite tier 1 and tier 2 smithing stones. So there's the elevator to go down. That's the path forward. We're not going to hit that up just yet. So infinite tier 1 and tier 2 smithing stones available for sale in round table hold if you kill this boss. Definitely worth doing. And I'll also add that the default weapon art for this weapon, Barbaric Roar, is actually quite good. If you get ganged up on, you do that, and it basically pushes the enemies back and gives you some room. And also, I believe, I'm going to test it out. I believe it works pretty well on the boss in here, too. So much like the other spot, you can roll down here. You don't even have to take the elevator. Is it on this side, or is it the other side? Let me check the other side real quick. Yeah, it is that side. So jump right here. And then this is going to take you to a slightly different... This is not a dead end, but it's a pass-through. But there's some good loot here, so I recommend taking this. And then we're going to be able to circle back around to where the elevator would drop you off normally anyway. So we got a Somber 2, and there's actually a spot to drop down right here. Get us another Somber 3. And then you can drop down here onto this wooden platform. And then if you go through here, just going to backtrack to show you we didn't really miss anything by doing that. This is where the elevator lets you off. So you can go ahead and pull the elevator down if you want. But this is where the elevator would let you off if we hadn't have taken that pass through and then dropped down on the other side of the tunnel. Okay, so we're one-hit backstabbing these guys. With the Bloodhound's Fang, you're not going to one-hit backstab them. You're going to have to do like a backstab and at least one charge attack. So now you can see more clearly the bottom of this tunnel, and that blue thing down there is the boss. It's as I said, it's a crystal-type boss. Just make sure this guy doesn't see you when you're walking across, because if he does, he might shoot spells at you and try to knock you off. Just be aware of his presence is what I would recommend. No, sir. Nope, not today. There we go. So this elevator is the shortcut that takes you back up. I'm going to activate it and hop off because I don't want to take it all the way back up. But if we die for whatever reason, it'll be up waiting for us at the beginning of the level. And it'll take us right down here. So big time shortcut. At least, even though this is a bigger level, at least they reward you with a shortcut. So beware, there's marionettes in here. And I'm actually going to switch back to my Bloodhound's Fang. Because you're seeing my hammer is not doing nearly as Look at that. That's like General Grievous tier spam. Yeah, see, my blunt weapon's not doing nearly as much to these guys. So back to the Bloodhound's Fang for this part. And you see there are these ones chilling up here. They're going to drop and then come up behind you if you don't knock them down ahead of time. And these are the archer varieties, and they can spam their arrows. Much like the other ones would spam their sword attack, these ones spam their arrows, and boy, some of the most annoying enemies in the game. Yeah, there's no surprise up there. I think when you pick these up, those other ones that we just knocked down and killed sneak up behind you, and it is slightly problematic. And I know there's another surprise around here somewhere with those marionette enemies. Yeah, so there's a crystal dude. No, that's a marionette. And there's, yep, one more hanging up there. Oh, there's two in front of us, and there's one hanging up. So I'm going to get these guys. Yeah, this game loves the ambushes. Look at that. You get caught up in that, you're dead. Straight up, you're dead. Come on down. Yeah, so best not to be surprised by these guys. Oof. All right, got the crystal knife. I'm gonna put my brick hammer back on because I'm pretty sure that's it for the marionette soldiers. Pretty sure. Yep, we're back to Crystal Tunnel Town here. And there's a bunch of these guys down there. Highly recommend being strategic about how you go about this spot, because, yes, you got this guy running up. He's going to start casting. He's a big dude. Much stronger than any of the other ones we've fought so far. And there's another caster. Yeah, you get hit by those, it's going to do a decent amount of damage. I'm going to focus on this guy. Ow, come on. Because the other ones don't really care about you so much. Oh my gosh, are you serious? That was a... I hate those guys. I seriously hate those guys. That's a terrible death. But this is at least an opportunity to demonstrate, you know, when I activate a shortcut and go back through a level, I don't fight everything. I basically run past everybody to get back to the spot where I died. And this will be a good example of that. And also a good example of why we unlocked that shortcut. So we got the elevator waiting for us. Man, that was a... That's the thing about the magic enemies in this game, is they are very, very spammy. They will just straight up spam their attacks and have no shame whatsoever. All right, I'm going to go ahead. Just a good practice. Go on and send the elevator back up. And that's just in case you need it again. Hopefully I don't need it again. But in case you do. That way it's waiting for you and you don't have to, you know, get it later. All right, I'm running past these guys. All right, so this is around where I lost my runes. Screw you. And I don't learn my lesson at all. I forgot about that guy. Get my runes back. Yeah, those things, man, the magic. See, look at that. He just straight up spams them. All right. Enough of you. Seriously. And these guys they're busy, so they don't really care. Get my HP back from the backstabs. For those of you wondering why I get HP from backstabs and critical attacks, it's because of a talisman that I have equipped. Just to recap real quick, I have the Assassin's Crimson Dagger equipped, which is giving me the HP every time I do a critical. Quite nice. Lots of loot there. Let's see. Lots of pathways and dead ends. Shatter Earth is a sorcery. Smithing stone, 2s and 3s. All right, so now we go forward. And I think we're pretty close to the boss here. I think it's another spot you can drop down. Yeah. Another somber 3. So we went from having none. We've been on 2 for so long, and we went from having no 3s to having an abundance of 3s. There's our boss door. Okay, so this is a crystal-based enemy. Not too difficult, especially with our blunt weapon. So if you do not have a blunt weapon, you're not going to do very much damage to her for starters, but eventually you will like shatter her. And once you shatter her, you're going to be doing tons of damage. But until you get that shatter with a non-blunt weapon, you're not going to be doing very much damage to her. But you see with the blunt weapon, we do plenty of damage. You also have, check this out. I think the weapon art will knock her back if I don't die to her first. No, maybe it's a different. It must be a different hammer that the roar basically stuns him. But with this, look at that. I mean, crazy damage with the hammer. Follow up with the heavy. Pretty sick and easy peasy. So we got the Smithing Stone Miner's Bell Bearing 1. Not bad. I'm going to switch back to my Bloodhound's Fang before I forget to do so. So this bell bearing that we got, we're going to turn it into the Maidens at Round Table. And they will sell us infinite Tier 1 and Tier 2 stones. Definitely worth it. All right. So as if we didn't already have enough Tier 3 stones, we're about to get ourselves another one. Right over here, kind of, in that general vicinity. There's a Tier 3 for us to pick up. Dude sitting all by himself in the chair. But he's got a Tier 3. Okay, so now that we got that, we're going to actually warp back to this Site of Grace that we picked up before. And right here is a warp point that's going to take us somewhere important. So conveniently, this warps us right next to the map fragment that's going to unlock this entire section of the map. So now, check this out. We have the entire Liurnia section unlocked. The entire, so you can see just how massive this entire section of the map is. So I said right here, smack dab in the middle is the academy. This is, I guess, the next big dungeon where we're going to fight another major boss in the game. I don't know when we're going to get there. It'll probably be a few episodes from now, I would guess. For now, we have some exploring to do up here, some stuff we want to take care of. Just south of us should be a site of grace. And I do not believe we have enough to level up yet. Nope, not quite. Well, it's close enough to the point where I think I'm just going to pop a couple of runes here and get the level. 2 of these should get it. Yeah, that's more than enough. Okay, so level up. I'll take my endurance to 25, and then I'll get strength to 25, and then we'll figure out where to go from there. Okay, so where we're headed next is right here in these ruins. This place is a little bit slightly confusing. If you remember the previous episode, we went to a catacombs that introduced false illusory walls to us. Well, there's more where that came from. So there's illusory walls in this area. And not only are there illusory walls, there's like enemies that disappear and appear out of nowhere. Lots of good fun. I'm surprised they haven't popped up yet. And so the tough part... Yeah, here we go. Yeah, see, there's once he disappears and he's going to reappear somewhere. There's a bunch of them that disappear and reappear. They're hard to hit. I generally don't worry about attacking them unless they're just right next to me. I got a bunch of wolves over here that fortunately do not disappear. We got this guy right here. See if I can hit him. And right there, you see where I hit that? I wish I didn't hit it by accident because this right here is an illusory floor. So what you need to do is you need to do a jump attack and kind of hit it. Or I think it'll reveal itself if you roll as well. But I'm going to show you exactly... Well, I can't because the game still thinks I'm in encounter mode because these wolves are around me. So I'm going to take out these wolves. And again, I could have leveled up my Bloodhound's Fang. I just didn't want to warp back to Round Table to do it. Because there's actually, well, there's a guy who will be able to upgrade me in just a little bit, but without having to warp back to Round Table. I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. Okay, will it let me show my danged map so I can show you guys? Nope. I just want to show you guys where this is on the map so you know where to get to it. I'm like mashing the map button. There we go. So right here, you see it's kind of in like the northeast-ish corner. And if you look, you see this tree kind of right in front of you. Again, do a jump heavy on this and you'll reveal, because this is a false floor. So just to show you where I'm at. So down here is a pretty tough boss. It's one of those, remember when we were back, I think, gosh, it must have been back around here in the Laskyar ruins, where there are those guys who teleport and have these like really spammy arm attacks. They have a poison attack. This is the boss that we're about to fight. So I went ahead and put in my physic. I'm going to summon my wolves immediately after I get in here, just because I hate these bosses. I hate these guys, and I need the wolves to distract so I don't lose my mind. Look at, oh my gosh, look at that. There's the. Fortunately, most of that was directed towards the wolves and not me. I'm going to chuck my Cerulean if I get a chance to, so I can do my special on this guy. So fortunately, he's more on the wolves right now than me. And that poison effect that he does, oh man. I'm going to top off my health while he's on them. And he's doing a number on my wolves even. All right, got stagger. Okay. Yeah, these guys, I hate these guys. Fighting them 1v1 is a royal pain. I got the frozen needle. It's a weapon. Where is it? There we go. It's like a rapier type weapon. Impaling thrust. Blade of ice. Okay, so that's the main thing that we wanted to get here. So now we travel back to the northern edge of the ruins. And it looks like that is all. But it is, in fact, not all. Because this is another illusory wall with a site of grace just beyond it. So I'm going to rest here to reset everything. Okay. Cannot level up. So this is EG.
Well, look at you. We don't receive many visitors. I presume you are tarnished? What brings you here? Oh, pardon me. It's hardly my place to ask, is it? I am E.G., a blacksmith who once served the Carrion royals. An old codger who refuses to retire his rusty hammer. So here I am, still quietly plying my trade on this spot. Perhaps you'd like a display? These bones are old, but still able.
Okay. So with him, we can purchase Somber 3s, which we just found a bunch of them, so we don't need to. You can also purchase Somber 4s. Now, you can go ahead and do this and level up your Bloodhound or whatever other weapon you're using to tier 4, if it's a special type weapon like the Bloodhound's Fang is. We're about to get a tier 4 upgrade anyways in like 5 or 10 minutes. So spare yourself purchasing the 4 because we're going to pick one up anyway. But you can buy them here if you want to. Also, he can upgrade you. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my Bloodhound to +3. And you see, I mean, just the boost that we get is pretty enormous. So looking forward to also upgrading this to +4. Let's see here. You can talk to him.
When I'm absorbed in my smithing, I lose sight of all else. If you come too close, I'm apt to cause you harm. I am, after all, terribly large compared to you, Tarnished. You don't know how hard it is not to break anything while I work.
Okay, so we can talk to him, and because we did Blade's quest, it should trigger some extra dialogue.
A word of warning, if you please. This territory once belonged to the Carrion royal family. Their manor lies not far beyond this point. When the Raya Lucaria Academy turned on the Carrions, the Knights of the Cuckoo descended on this tract. After leveling it, they carried on to the manor. The Carrions were taken off guard, but their strength had not waned, and they repelled the Knight's onslaught by conjuring an enchanted snare that remains potent to this day. That is why I say, Tarnished, don't go near the manor, unless you wish to lie with the corpses of the heedless Knights of the Cuckoo.
Okay, so just a little bit of lore. He made mention of, you know, there's like the royal family who lives at the manor, and then there are the Cuckoo Knights from, I believe they're from the Raya Lucaria Academy. So even though they're both magic-oriented type factions, they do not like one another, and they are kind of against each other. And he mentioned something about like a trap if you go near the manor that still is active to this day. We're about to find out what he means by that. But anyway, so we can talk about Blade now since we've been through this part of dialogue.
Blythe actually did that. Did he? Quite a rare occurrence for such a guarded soul as he. Perhaps he sensed something unusual about you. At any rate, if you're friendly with Blythe, I've something else that might suit you.
So since we've done on Blythe's quest, we can now purchase the Carrion Filigreed Crest, which lowers FP consumption by skills. So that's probably not even something that I'm planning on using in this playthrough, but just for the sake of completion, I'm going to pick it up. So I need like 5,000 for that, so I need 2,000 more. So if I use, I think 10 of these, that should give me what I need.
Something.
I'm just going to pick it up. You can do what you will with it or not, but I will be picking it up just for the sake of completion. So over here is another graveyard where we can pick up a bunch of runes. But just know that trap he was talking about is going to trigger. Just stay on the move. That's what he's talking about. Just stay on the move and kind of try to stay towards the edges, and you will, by and large, be safe from whatever that is trying to hit you. It's trying to keep people out of the manor, which the manor is something that we're going to be coming back. We're going to be doing this a bit later on in the game. We're not going to be going there right now. So this is this graveyard is protected by rats, and a few small rats and a big mama. I'm gonna Bloodhound's Finesse. Actually, I need a two-handed Bloodhound's Finesse. There we go. Pick up all these runes. Alrighty. Some good stuff here. I'm going to warp back down to here for where we're going next. Because there's a cliff by where we were at that's too high to jump over. So, right over here, because where we were at before was over there. That cliff is too high to jump over, so if we want to get down there, it's easier just to start from this spot anyways. Because there's some stuff we want to pick up. Find a safe spot to drop down. Right here should work. So where we're headed next is there is a crystal knot for the physic flask here. I want to say there's some stuff here, and then on these ruins right here there's some stuff. And then what we really want is our tier 4 somber stone, and then finally there is a site of grace over there. So we're gonna hit up all those spots real quick. Just make a quick little sweep. And then we'll be able to level up our Bloodhound's Fang to level 4, which I'm pretty pumped about. So we went from 2 to 4 real quick. Okay, I'm gonna knock out. There we go. Intelligence, not crystal tier, so that will, if you put that in your concoction, in your flask, it'll give you a boost to your intelligence. Here's the, the Arterial Leaf. And then on these ruins, there's some stuff. Nothing like super duper important, but could be helpful to you. There it is. Sulfuric grease, that is for casting sleep on enemies. I thought there were ruin fragments up here, but maybe not. The sulfuric grease being the main thing. Okay, gonna go straight over here for our tier 4 somber stone. All right. And just for later, to make it easier to get back here, we're just going to go ahead and unlock this site of grace and warp out. Okay. Gonna go back to round table hold. Level up our weapon to +4. And then knock out the final stretch of what we're going to do in this episode.
Well, took youth no matter lay out your own.
There's some more dialogue about Roderica as well.
The girl. She has a gift for spirit tuning. So I told her everything I know. I'm indebted to a spirit tuner I met long ago. It was all I could do to honor her. I'm sorry I doubted you.
Okay, so we can strengthen our armament. We do not have the runes to do that. So I'm going to pop some runes here to do just that. Let me see. I think I needed like... No, I'll just do 2 of these. It's not precise, but I'll get the job done.
Back already, no matter.
There we go. Oh, it was way overkill. But hey, it's cool. We got a +4. We are good to go. So we're going to warp back here to the Gate Town Bridge. And what we're going to do is make basically a quick loop around here. We're not going to go into the academy yet because we don't even have the key to get in there yet, but there's a bunch of stuff around this area that we're going to pick up. So for starters, there's some runes around here, like on this bridge, and there's some runes on this island, I believe. So we'll start off with that, and then I want to say up here-ish is an NPC that we want to talk to, Dialos. Do you remember him from? Oh, this might kill me. Oh, I got saved. Whew, that was almost. I walked straight off. That was bad. You remember he started out right when we first got to Round Table Hold, and he has a quest line involved with finding him out here. Yeah, so on this bridge, got runes. I'm not going to worry about doing much combat. And then there's some more over here. Are they in the middle of these enemies? Let's see. There's something up here, I think. Oh, yeah. I'm hanging off the edge of that right there. Magic grease. And I think my NPC is over here. Yep, there he is. So this is Dialos. He was in the Round Table Hold.
It's me, Dialos. Answer me, would you?
And yeah, people finding their loved ones or friends generally don't have good luck in this game. So she is, oof.
Hello, friend.
Yeah,
Tell me
not good.
if you know, would you? The whereabouts of the hidden house of those despicable fiends. The recusants who hunt their fellow tarnished. They laid hands upon my servant Lanya, and I refused to let the insult stand. The tale of House Hoslow is told in blood. I, Dialos, swear to deliver the message. They laid hands upon my servant. The tale of how
Okay, so he is mad. He's going to take his revenge. So what we're going to do now is up here, there's a Somber 2, I believe. Here, there's a cookbook. And up here is a Stone Sword key. Actually, wait, before the Stone Sword key, there's a seed, golden seed here. And then we'll go up here for the key. Kind of making a little zigzag. But as I said, there is a ton of stuff around here. So the Somber is held by this here Scarab. We're gonna go back down here for the cookbook. I hope I marked these things in the right spot. If not, I'm going to be looking around aimlessly, like, where the heck is my crap? Let's see. No, that definitely... Oh, I hadn't... Yeah, I was like, I feel like I'm going the wrong way. That's because that marker was still there from the first time I marked stuff off. Where I'm really headed is the number 3. As I said, I was like... as I was saying that, I hope I was marking things off correctly. I kind of made a boo-boo. Gotta hope you guys can forgive me. There's, as I said, there's a lot of stuff around here. It's easy to get confused. And I'm hoping that marking stuff off on my map is helping you guys out. Because I'm trying to show you exactly where I get the stuff on my map. So that way you can replicate, you know, the locations and whatnot. So yes, in here, got the cookbook. And I don't care to fight these guys. I'm just going to get out of here. So I think next is our golden seed. It's getting late in the day, too, so... Here's our golden seed. And then we're going to turn up north for the stone sword key. Yeah, we're running out of daylight, but it shouldn't be too big a deal. So the key is around here somewhere. There it is. Okay. And then we got some stuff like down in this area. And then we're going to head here, which is the ramp up to kind of this town before the academy, directly before the academy. We're just going to have to go around. And there's a giant crab enemy here. We're going to take him out. And he does sleep. So you see that sleep kind of stuns you for a sec. But he's relatively weak. Oops, I meant to two-hand. There we go. Do a bloodhounds. This should take him out. Okay. He dropped some crab eggs. Picked up a smithing stone too. Now, check this out. There is a... I can target him. Won't let me target him. So I might have to do a manual aim. There is a scarab up here. In the presence of these poisonous things. I'm going to chase them. Get back here. All right. Get the charged 4th Ash of War. And that's what we wanted to get over here. So now we want to go up kind of into the town. I need to recharge my FP. So we are headed straight and then up. Here. So there are a lot of enemies around here. I think they were already alerted to my presence when I hopped over to get to the crab. Which is fine. Spreads them out a little bit. So there's a guy kind of mounted on this turret. You want to get behind him real quick so he can't shoot you with the fire. Let's see here. There's a couple little hidden thingamabobs off to the side. I want to say on this one of these roofs. Yeah, here we go. I knew there was something. All right. Shatter shard arrows. This guy's got a claymore. But as long as you get the step on him. Not too terrible. Ahead of us, there's a smithing stone 3. Don't rush in here. Because there is a enemy that we have not seen yet. And he's very tough, but if you know how to approach him, he's not that bad. If you do it right, which even sometimes I know how to do it right, but I still screw it up. So we'll see what happens. Okay.
Mikela's all you need to.
Okay. Kind of cryptic, but... So see that thing that's kind of glowing off in the distance there? That is what I was talking about before. If that thing sees you, it's bad news. So if you're crafty, you can sneak up on it. This guy I want to take out first because if that giant fiery thing attacks us while we're trying to kill him, or vice versa, it can get bad real quick. So you can actually sneak around. Just crouch. Just to keep your distance. Go kind of around this tent. And so there's actually a man operating that thing from behind. And that's the weak point. Additionally, if you can manage to get on top of it, that is also a weak point. Like attack the chimney. It's very hard to do. But see this guy right here? You can backstab him and just relentlessly assault him until he's dead. So I'm going to do a charged heavy and then another charged heavy. And before he can even get going, he's dead. And this thing is gone. These things are very fast and maneuverable, believe it or not. And they just spray fire all over the place, and they are deadly. All right, so got a bunch more guys around here. It's actually easier to approach this from the side. And there's also a shield over here that you can pick up. I believe this is the spot where you can get the shield. You see there's a bunch of runes. We're gonna pick those up too. Okay. And these guys, we're behind them now. We don't really need to fight them. If you want to fight them, by all means, it's easy to get them from behind because they're not going to see you coming. But by no means is it necessary. And we are in the dead of night, so I'm going to go ahead and warp the time today. And this is the same place we warped here before. We can't get through that gate yet because we don't have the key. We warped here before, and it gave us the hint to the key. Let's pass the time until morning. And let's see. We want to get over to this area because, as I showed you before, there's a bunch of smithing stones. Like kind of right down here-ish, and then there are some more smithing stones. Probably the best... See, this is too far of a drop. You can technically make that jump. It is really tough to do. And if you don't make it perfectly, you're going to fall to your death. One thing I'm going to check is just going over this way. I think you can pretty easily land on one of these and survive. Yeah. You do take a bit of damage, but you will survive. So I'm going to try to get these runes here and ignore as best as possible the magical Ochus. I call them Och. As I said before, I call them Ochus because that's what they're called in Final Fantasy. I don't know the proper name. I'm going to get poisoned. It's the price you pay for these runes. Even if you try to fight and kill them, you're still probably going to get poisoned. But you see the poison damage that you take, I mean, it's gradual, but it's not all that severe. And over here, there's a gazebo that has another one of those things and some more smithing stones. So yeah, look at that. Ugh. Run away from that stuff. He's doing it again, really? All right, I'm just getting my smithing stones and I'm going to get out of here. And as soon as it lets me call my map up, I'm warping to round table. There we go. Okay, so really, I took you to the gate of the academy. Really, the main goal with that was, you know, at the beginning, we kind of went around here. We got all this stuff. I wanted to clear out this kind of middle section of the map right here, which is why we did all that just now, even though we can't even get into the academy yet. If I'm thinking about this straight, we're probably gonna get to the academy in a few more episodes. So we took all this out. We got all this stuff around here. We got all this stuff up here. What we're going to do now is I'm going to advance some quest lines, mainly Dialos and Nepheli's. Neither of these quest lines are required for platinum. I mean, there are some rewards scattered throughout, but none of them are what I would call major rewards or anything that affects any of the endings or anything that would affect your platinum trophy. So if you don't want to do all this right now, you can go in and duck out of the video. But if you want to know all this quest line stuff, then stick around and we'll take care of some stuff here in the round table hold.
Hello. I thank you. So what can I do?
So you can talk to him about Rogier.
Are you acquainted with a man named Rogier? You know, the piteous fellow hiding away on the balcony. He was a formidable spellblade in times past. Don't let his easy air deceive you. He was wise beyond his years, stout of heart, and clear of mind. No more, though. You see him now, ravaged by thorns, muttering and rambling, like he's half dead already. I can't stomach to watch. Take well the lesson, friend. That's how you end up when seduced by those who live in death. When grace is sullied, it rots people from the inside. Breaks them.
Okay. Some additional dialogue from Dialos as well, because we met him right outside the academy gates.
The recusants sent a lackey. Can you believe they invited me to join them? Now, after what they did? I can scarcely believe it myself. Did they think me a fool? You might be surprised to learn I took them up on the offer. Then I only had to ask. The location of the recusant hideout. It's on Mount Gelmir, found off the old road that leads west from the town of Windmills. That's where they hide. The manor on the peak. Just you wait, wretched recusants. You'll rue the day you insulted my name by laying hands on Lanya. The tale of House Hoslow is told in blood, after all. It's on Mount Gelmir.
Okay, so he's talking about Volcano Manor. So we've heard about Volcano Manor from a number of different sources now.
Always good to see.
I don't think he has any extra dialogue. So Nepheli, I think we've talked to her already. She is down here. She doesn't have much to say right now. I don't believe. Just make sure that we advance everything.
Please. It's pathetic, I know.
All right, so she says she needs to think. So what we need to do is we need to talk to her adoptive father, Sir Gideon, who is over here and has some extra dialogue for us. So we can talk about Insha. And if you remember, Insha was the guy who was standing out here who wouldn't talk to us, and then he invaded us after we got that first Halig Tree medallion.
Oh, my apologies for that nasty business. Ensha got rather ahead of himself, it seems. As his master, I'd like to express my regret. But now, Ensha is slain and gone. Finished. Forevermore. Ah, yes. Allow me to tender some advice in regard to the half of the secret medallion you possess. Find the Albinoric woman. She hides in a cave to the west of the Laskia ruins. She knows the location of...
So he's actually telling us what we already know. We've already found her. We've already got her along with us. So now we can talk about Nepheli.
Ah, you've already heard. Indeed. It seemed the whelp harbored suspicions. So I had no further use for her. Honestly, what's a man to do? A determined plebeian is more wicked than an omen horn, quite frankly. I suspect that's just what the Queen wants. A dose of ambition to incite the tarnished.
Okay, so now we can go back and talk to Nepheli. I think she's got some additional dialogue for us now, just to advance all of these quest lines that we got going on, of which there are many.
Ah, you. Please, leave me be. It's pathetic, I know, but
All right, so now we can talk. We've heard from Gideon.
So you know already, do you? Right. It's true. My father cast me out for indulging my emotions. Forgetting the mission. Punishment for offing his pawns. Father, Lord Gideon has offered me guidance all my life. I would have done anything for him, to place him on the throne of Elden Lord. And yet though it was not my intent, I betrayed him. And I can no longer trust in Father. To think he'd order his men to enact such tragedy. Where is the justice he purports in that? He once told me that if he became Elden Lord, he would never allow the downtrodden to be cheated ever again. Was he simply lying to me? No. How could I say that? Father has always given me his guidance. And now, I've lost it. No, how could
Okay.
Father has announced...
That's all we can do for now with that quest. So let us head back over here, and this is where we're going to end this episode. So we accomplished a lot in this one. Lots of good stuff. Hope you guys have been enjoying yourself, and looking forward to charging on through the rest of Liurnia, and then, of course, to the Raya Lucaria Academy, where we're going to have some good fun. So anyways, you guys take care. Thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you later.